Hey everybody, this is James with WSTrades.com. I want to provide an update here on ticker ATER or Aterian Inc. Looking at some of the recent news stories here, we had one come out yesterday talking about Aterian whale trades spotted. A whale with a lot of money to spend has taken a noticeably bearish stance on Aterian. Looking at options history for Aterian, we detected 14 strange trades. If we consider the specifics of each trade, it is accurate to state that 42% of the investors opened trades with bullish expectations and 57% with bearish. From the overall spotted trades, 2 are puts for a total amount of $93,250. And 12 are calls for a total amount of $564,260. What's the price target? Taking into account the volume and open interest on these contracts, it appears that whales have been targeting a price range from $350 to $1750 for Aterian over the last 3 months. Looking at the volume and open interest is an insightful way to conduct due diligence on a stock. This data can help you track the liquidity and interest for Aterian's options for a given strike price. Below, we can observe the evolution of the volume and open interest of calls and puts, respectively, for all of Aterian's whale activity within a strike price range from $350 to $1750 in the last 30 days. So that's what this graph is right here with the call and put option activity. So let's take a look at what has been going on with Aterian on the charts. And I think I made a video about this recently talking about maybe the 275 up to around 290 level being really key. So that was kind of a barrier right here. You can see a few weeks back, and then it made this massive move and made this nice explosion. It came all the way from about 250 on this first run up all the way to about 383, about $4. Had a nice pullback there to this trend line, bounced off of it nicely twice, and then another big rip. So once the bull stepped in here and rejected this thing off this 334 level or so, big move above $5. You can see now consolidation, profit taking coming in. Let me zoom in a little bit here. So consolidation, profit taking coming in, things starting to peel back. You can see here on this 1 hour time frame that the MACD has crossed under. So I would expect this thing to retrace towards this trend line. And again, I would like to see this kind of price action right here. I'd like to see it approach this trend line, bull step in, reject that level and rip it away. If we can see a nice rejection of this trend line here, I think we can see another run up here and a retest of around this $5 level. And then we can be keeping an eye there to kind of see if it can bust through and set a fresh high. Now, if this thing does sell towards this trend line, go below it and close below it on this time frame, I think that would be a good short entry, because as you could see, this thing bounced off of about the 335 level here and about the 315 level here. So, if this thing does start to sell down toward this level here and close below, I think it's definitely going to probably retest in these areas here. So there may be a good short entry opportunity if this thing just kind of trickles down to this trend line and closes below it. So definitely some things to keep an eye on there. I also want to provide an update on a current trade that I am in, and this is on ticker QCOM or Qualcomm Inc. Let me pull up a different time frame. I think it was the daily. Yeah, so on the daily, I kind of threw up a trend line here. This thing was facing a lot of resistance here around 190. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rejections of that level, and then the downtrend started. So zooming in here a little bit, you can see that this thing, since this latest peak here to 190, has just been trending lower, making lower highs and lower lows. So definitely in a nice downtrend here. I bought the 140 put, and that is expiring April 14th, I believe, this coming Friday, or coming Thursday, sorry, maybe markets are closed Friday. So I've only got a few days left here. This thing is a couple bucks in the money, but it just set a fresh low here. So you can see it bounced nicely here. This was March 15th, it looks like. It bounced nicely off of this 140 level. It had a hard bleed down here away from this trend line to this 140 level. It had a nice bounce off of that level, rallied back up to 160, and then bam, the selling pressure came in again. So a little bit of a fake out here above this trend line, but it rejected this 100-day exponential moving average very nicely right here, and then right down through that trend line. And this was the key level I was keeping an eye on here at 140. And once I saw it go below that with 3 nice candles, it gives me, the idea that this thing is going to continue to move down and set a nice fresh lower low here on this daily time frame. So yeah, I've got 4 days left in this thing. I would like to see this thing move down a couple more bucks. I think my break even on this trade is going to be around 133 or so. So I still need a few more dollars out of it. I wish I would have entered a little later into this trade, to be honest, because this thing had a nice rally and a nice pullback here to the average or to the mean. So yeah, this would have been a great entry off of this candle right here. As you see the nice rally up to the trend line, trying to show whether it's going to bust through or, what's going to kind of happen here. And then this big dump, this nasty bearish engulf candle here, an entry there around 152 would have been great. But we'll kind of see what happens here. I'll keep you guys updated on this Qualcomm position. And let's see if this thing sets a nice lower low here. Maybe I think it could come down to maybe around 130 or so, to be honest, before it kind of bounces and pulls back towards the mean here or towards this trend line. But we'll kind of see what happens, and I will keep you guys updated on this trade and how it works out for me. Please like this video. Please also subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch this. Talk to you soon.